there's actually a little bit of communication between you and the tree. Hi, I'm Miltonchang of Bonsaiheirloom. So I would take this opportunity to talk a little bit about an article I came across in the Scientific American. Basically, it was an article written by Professor Sachet of the Harvard Medical School and Professor Brewer of the Mindful Center at the Brown University. Those are pretty big professors. And what they describe in the Scientific American article is that they show scientific evidence of advanced meditation could transform mental health and consciousness. I call it, for lack of better knowledge in that field, called a mental state. And I've always felt that bonsai is a very good hobby because it gives a moment of calmness, a period like meditation, to focus on working on your bonsai. So that's got to be good for your mental state. And I think this article gave me the incentive to think a little bit more about the subject. So I went to Google and Googled, the practice of advanced meditation. In a sense, what do people do to meditate for the advanced meditation activities? I'm surely not going to go through the deep end to do yoga or humming or chanting or whatever. But I do want to know if how bonsai can fit into the scheme of things. So here's what I found, which I think is very encouraging. There are basically, I think, 7 techniques into the advanced state of meditation. And one is that bonsai enable you to focus on what you do, which is one of the practical approach to technique for mental meditation. The second one is relax. Feel you're in a state of relaxation, which also automatically does that when you are relaxed to focus on your bonsai and get comfortable. You're in your comfortable state, the environment where you enjoy being with, and among the trees you enjoy. And then visualization, like I said, always visualize what you want the trees to become, and then you work towards it. And stay open to your thoughts in a sense, like, this branch should be cut off. Next time it's that branch. So there's always an evolution of what you do. Be open-minded about what you do. One other thing that's not included in the 7 techniques is that there's actually a little bit of communication between you and the tree. When you see the tree starting to a little bit brown or yellowing, it needs water or it needs fertilizer. Or for that matter, after you clip it, the trees responded to reward you with the feeling that you did something really nice to the tree. Or even when you're watering, it gives you a state of relaxation. You're caring for something, and the tree responded in return by growing to staying healthy. So all in all, I think bonsai is an excellent hobby for me to promote, for us to promote, for you to promote to your friends. And someday think about giving a gift of bonsai to someone you care or you love or you respect, because it's such a personalized gift, and you enable the person to help his mental and physical state by the focus and the meditation. Well, with that in mind, that's enough extrapolation for today. Let me go back to the Q&A. The first question is that, I think the simple question is, how do you keep squirrels and chipmunks from digging and destroying roots? Well, I never had any problem. We don't have chipmunks. I'm not sure how that is compared to squirrel, but we have had a lot of squirrels. But very strange thing this spring, all the squirrels disappeared. I think that's probably because there's some hawk in the sky and then coming swooping down on them, which is great. Well, the first year I have fruits. But I never had bonsai with a problem with bonsai. Sometimes they do eat the tender leaves. So what I did in the past is that when that happens, both for that and for deer, I put eggs, let it rot in a bottle, and then diluted to spray them onto my roses and my plants to chase away the deer. Turns out it's the same stuff as they sell for $32 a gallon to spray, I think it's called off or something, to spray on your, to keep deer away. So just put a few rotten eggs in a bottle of water and spray it, and you can keep them away. Is it not harmful to dig up the tree and disturb roots in the middle of growing season? Yes and no. I definitely will not dig up a tree in my garden during the hottest season of the month. And the whole point is that when you disturb the roots, you have to cut off as much branch as possible to compensate for the root loss. So think of it, the amount of roots is there to support the huge amount of growth that's on top. But when you reduce the roots, then you have to reduce the top so that the roots can supply enough moisture to keep the remaining leaves moist and keep them alive. So with that in mind, I always advocate digging around the tree all year round or part of the year, and then dig it up at the end, let's say in the fall. That's probably the best time, or the springtime, to take it out, because you have a lot of fibrous roots and you only need to cut off a little bit of the growth. But for bonsai, in my bonsai pot, there are plenty of fibrous roots. So if I repot my tree during the summer, it's really not that big a deal. I do have to reduce some leaves, but there's plenty of roots to allow me to do that in the summertime. I question, because I live in Bali where the weather is very hot, and even still specific time to repot and prune, still some of my trees would die. Well, again, I understand during the very hot season, the rate of evaporation is really high. So you really have to reduce extra amount of roots, or be extra careful not to destroy too many of the fibrous roots, and keep it in the shade and keep it plenty moist. Sometimes it's misleading that you think you're watering, you're not. When the root ball is dry, the water just runs out. So please water your plants. Soak it if necessary to keep it moist. And if you destroy some of the roots, you have to compensate for the growth. And should you start growing a sacrificial branch early or later in the bonsai stage? Which bonsai stage? Well, let me describe what the sacrificial branch is. So the easiest one to explain is the apex. You want the apex, pick a new apex, so that part of it's really thin relative to what's below. So what you do is you let that part really grow. So the apex, the new apex, will be thickened to rhyme with the rest of the tree. Now, on the other hand, if you have a stick, you cut it, shoots will come out on the bottom. Well, the bottom shoots will probably grow longer than the other part, so you let it grow long. And sometimes what you can do is, instead of growing this way, you point it up. When a branch points up, it tends to grow faster, and so that you can thicken that branch faster. So the branch is coming out this way, you pull it up, and then this will thicken, and therefore thicken this part quicker. So this way, you do that to all the branches, side branches and top branch, to balance it off so that you have a nice taper, and the branches are reducing in size as you go. That's how you create a very fine bonsai. I can cut up a tree fairly quickly to give it a rough shape, but it just wouldn't have the fine refinement that I just talked about, that only can be there after many, many years of work dedication. So please keep your bonsai alive by keeping it moist, and then you will keep after year to make improvements, and your trees will be magnificent, worthy of your bonsai heirloom. So with that in mind, then, I thank you very much for watching. If you feel I'm being informative, please click like. That's my encouragement, and that's my reward. And if I say something stupid, please tell me so I can improve and correct it, so we don't pass on bad information. And please subscribe to our channel so we'll notify you of any new posting. With that in mind, thank you very much for watching, and see you next week.